Welcome back to Roblox scripting tutorials. This is part 3 of our Morph GUI series. In this part we're going to be making a background for our screen as well as a preview of the Morph. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to right click in our workspace and insert part. And then we're going to take our part, change the material to neon. Some of your guys' parts may not look may not glow like this. They might just look like a brighter solid color. That's because my computer's a higher end and Roblox Studio recognizes that, and my studio's in a higher quality mode. But in game, if your graphics are the right level, you should see it glow, just not in Studio. You're gonna change the color to, let's go with this really black color, and then you're just gonna make it super big, super huge. Awesome. Now we're gonna make another part. We're gonna name this part smoke over in our properties menu. Actually, we're gonna name the black part. We just inserted black back inside this smoke brick. We're gonna right click it in the Explorer menu, insert object, and we're gonna choose smoke. Alright, we're going to change the smoke's color to more of like a gray, kind of lighter gray color. We're going to change the size to 20, let's go bigger than that, 50. We're going to change the opacity to 0.1. And we're going to change rise velocity to 2. Let's try that. Actually, maybe a bit more, maybe 5. That should be fine. And we're just gonna move it up to like the middle of our black brick. Alright, so now we're gonna take both of our parts. We're gonna highlight them both in the Explorer menu, make sure they're anchored, and we're gonna click our smoke brick and make sure the transparency is set to 1. Now down here in the output menu, remember, if you don't have this output menu, or no, excuse me, not the output menu, the command bar. So if you don't have the command bar, come up to view and hit command bar, and you'll see this little bar at the bottom here where we can type. You're going to type local p equals instance dot new part. And then we're going to do p dot parent equals game dot workspace. And p.cframe equals game.workspace.cframe. Oops, sorry. Game.workspace.currentCamera.cframe. So don't click enter yet. Make sure you have your camera aligned in a pretty good spot where like the smoke is kind of nice blending in with the background. And then you're going to click enter in your command bar. And what that will do, it will make a part exactly where your camera was. That's a really bad spot. Let's try it again. Kind of more flat. There we go. And so now it's looking, so we created a brick where your camera was. So now we're going to anchor that, make sure the transparency is 1, and we're going to name it cam part. Alright, so now we're going to come down to our Morph Selection GUI, into our scripts, into your local script here. Fix this. We're going to highlight that, come up, and we're going to name this init. Just like that. So what we're going to put in it is everything that we want to initialize when the script starts. So when the script starts, we're going to want to move the camera to that cam part so the player sees this, right? So we're going to do game.workspace.currentCamera actually, we're going to make a variable for the camera. This will be a constant. Local camera equals game.workspace.currentCamera camera dot camera type equals scriptable, and then camera dot cframe equals game dot workspace dot campart dot cframe. Actually, within it, we're going to do repeat wait until we're going to make a new variable local player equals game dot players dot local player. So repeat wait until player dot character. So let me explain this. So we just created a new variable for the camera in the workspace. You can see that the workspace has the camera in it. We made a new variable for the player, so that's the player that's on this machine. And then right here we're going to repeat wait until the player's character loads, and then when that loads, we're going to change the camera type to scriptable and move it to the cam part. So if we test this, we'll see that it brings us over to this menu, or not really the menu, it brings us over here, and we have our things over here that we can choose, right? But now we have to make it so we can preview our character. So if you come over to this cam part, what we're going to do, we are going to click Control D and then Control L. So what that will do, it will duplicate that brick, and then we can move it in the same direction that it's pointing, right? Move it here. That should be good. And then we're going to name this Dev Trooper Spot. And now we're going to come back to our script. We're going to do player dot character dot torso dot anchored equal true, and player dot character dot torso dot cframe equals game dot workspace dot dev trooper spot. We're not going to keep this code in a bit. We're just going to test to see. I just want to show you guys how it's going to look, if it will work. Oops, what did I forget to do? Oh, dot cframe, right. So it will look something. Oh, we have to come back to our dev trooper spot, come up to home, rotate, and we're going to rotate it a full 90 degrees. Next, we're going to move it a bit closer to our cam part. Alright, so now when we choose our morphs, we can see a live preview of it. Oh, why is that not working? Last time I worked on this, I actually forgot to save my project. So I took code from Discord, someone who posted, and put it in here, but it looks like it was missing a few things. Just let me pause the video here, and when I come back, everything should be up to date. Alright, I'm back. Fixed that. So what should happen is you should see a preview of your character like that. So we're gonna make that work. I also need to fix that actually, now that I see it. But we'll work on that later. We're actually going to be completely redesigning all of our GUI. So don't really worry about what it looks like at the moment, because we're going to be making it look different. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to come up to our free models toolbox over here, and we're going to type in NPC. We're just going to choose the first basic one. Remove everything that's script related. The only thing we really want is the parts in the humanoid. We're going to color all of the parts to like a peachy, that's an ugly peach color. And we're going to name it Dev Trooper. And we're going to click Cut, come over to our Morph selection into our scripts, and we're going to put it in our local script. So now for init, what we're going to do, instead of moving the player.character over. Also in your dev trooper, make sure everything's anchored. We're going to do, come up to our constants, make a new variable, local dev trooper equals script dot dev trooper clone. Then we're going to do dev trooper dot parent equals game dot workspace, and then dev trooper dot torso dot, or we're going to do the set primary part, set primary part C frame game dot workspace dot dev trooper spot dot C frame. That means we also have to set the main part, primary part. So dev trooper dot primary part equals dev trooper dot torso. All right, let's test that. We won't see, so we see that the dev trooper is there, but we don't, like if we choose a morph, it's just going to go in our character, not the dev trooper. So we have to make it so the morph goes onto our dev trooper. So what we're going to do is give helmet. We're going to completely remove, actually no, this is a good time to do the next thing. We're going to come to our server script service, right click, insert object, new script. We're going to call this morph. And we're going to come to replicated storage, right click here, and we're going to do remote event. And we're going to name this morph. Come up to workspace, make sure filter enabled is turned on. What filter enabled is a way to make sure your games are safe against hackers. And all Roblox games, all new Roblox games really should be filter enabled. It might mess around with some free models you use, but in the future we'll learn how to make our own guns and stuff. So, and those will all be filter enabled friendly, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so in our morph script, in our server script service, we're going to do game.replicated storage. Then we're going to do wait for child morph event. Actually, we're going to name this morph event. Then we're going to do on server event connect function player, then morph. Actually, not morph, helmet. So what we're going to do, so what this does, it goes to the replicated storage inside the game. It's going to wait until that appears, because when the game loads, it takes a couple seconds for everything to load in properly. So in order to prevent glitches, we're just going to wait until that appears. And then when our local script down here tells this event to happen, it's going to do code here. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy everything that's in give helmet here. So highlight it all, Control C, bring it over here. We're going to remove that give helmet thing and the end at the bottom. Alright, awesome. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come down here. We're going to do, we're going to change this give helmet function inside our script. So we're just going to remove that player comma. And we're going to do, everywhere where it says player.character, we're going to change to dev trooper. This will let us see our preview that we want. Alright, so your code should look something like that now. And now if we test this, let's get a Rex morph on. Oh lord, what did I mess up this time? Right, we have to take away that at the bottom here, this GIF helmet. Well, it's clearly not working. Let's see what we did. Let's analyze our code and see what glitches we made. This should right here, this dev trooper. And helmet clone dot here. What else? Alright, that should fix it all. There we go. Now we see our preview. Oh, right, and we can't do this player clear character appearance thing for dev trooper. So what we're going to do is dev trooper dot shirt destroy, dev trooper dot pants destroy. That won't work either, actually. If dev trooper find first child shirt, oops, that's not shirt. That was a bad typo on my part there. We're just going to copy that, and we're going to change the shirt here to pants. Sorry for being confusing, guys. It's been a long day. Alright. This should work now. Alright, let me explain this. So what it's going to do is it's going to look in the dev trooper, look to see if there is a shirt, and then if there is one, it's going to destroy it, and then it's going to replace it with the one in the morph. We have to do this because if we select the morph the first time, the dev trooper, as you can see, is naked, and there is no shirt. So if we try to destroy the shirt that isn't actually there, it's just going to throw an error, and the whole script is just going to break. Yep, so now you can see our preview. Cool. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make like a spawn button, and when we click it, it will bring the uniform to our player. So in our morph selection over here, we're going to click insert object, text button. We're going to change the position to 1 minus 210 and 1 minus 60. Change the color to 30, 30, 30. Come down to the color of the text, change that to white. We're going to change the font, and then we're going to change the text to spawn. I know a lot of you guys are beginners, but because this tutorial is meant for more advanced people, they should know what most of these buttons and properties already do. The getting started playlist, we'll keep getting videos, and you guys can learn from those. But for now, I'm gearing this towards the more advanced audience. And we're going to change the name here to spawn. In our script, we're going to come down to main. At the very bottom, we're going to do script.parent.parent.spawn.mouse button 1 click connect. Oh, I should have made this bigger for you guys. I'm going to apologize for that function. And now we're going to use this morph event that we created over in the replicated storage. So game.replicatedStorage.morph event. Now we're going to fire the server. So we have to come here and do selected morph equals v3.helmet. So we're gonna put that in there. So when we click our button that selects our morph, it's gonna create a variable here. I forgot to put. No, we don't. I'll explain this in a second. So we make a new variable here, and we're gonna set that to the v3.helmet. So when we tell the morph event to happen, it sends that. We'll do filter enabled more in depth later, but for now, just copy my code. I know it's confusing, but it will work. So, and we create this variable here without putting local in front of it. And you guys are probably wondering, why didn't you put local in front of it? You put local in front of a variable if you only want it to apply for the function, like it's the function that's in. And yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it. So in this case, this right here is a function. So if we put local, only code inside this function will be able to access that variable. But we want code outside the function in this separate function to be able to access it too. So if we remove local, it now becomes a global variable and every single function in the code can access it. So let's test this. Oh wait, never mind. I have to change one more thing. We have to do game or camera dot camera type equals custom, because if we don't change the camera type back, we won't be able to see our character and see if it worked. Click play, select our morph, Rex, click spawn, and you see your morph is now on your character. So you get the preview and the character. Now we want to get the GUI away, so script.parent.parent.enabled equals false, because this GUI here has an enabled property. So if we click play now, choose our morph, Cody, click spawn, you see that we get the Cody morph. Awesome. So normally what you do with this, you would take all that and move it under your map so you don't see it, but the script would still work, right? Yeah, it still works the same. Click spawn, spawn it on the map. In the next video, we are going to learn how to teleport your player to the spawn of their team after they click spawn. We're going to mess around with some more GUI elements and make it look more visually appealing. And then we're also going to move around the dev trooper a bit to make him in a better position. I want to cover a few things before we head out today. I noticed a few of you guys posting comments in Discord about problems with your code. So let's see, if I do local high equals, actually no, that's a bad example. Like when you guys were trying to mess around with the size of a GUI, how about that? We'll work with that. Some of you guys wrote udim2 but without a capital D. So because you guys wrote without a capital D, Roblox puts a blue line under the error. So if you hover over that, it would say unknown global udim2, which tells you that you've made a mistake somewhere. That will help you sort out your code. Also, some of you guys got glitches in the output. Now some of you guys, let's do this for example. Some of you guys wrote left like that. You guys put two quotes on both sides. But if we come down to our output menu, we're going to get a red line that says that isn't like a thing. So if we click that, it will actually bring us to the part in the code where the problem is. Like the code, yeah, see? And it tells us where the code problem is, and then we can fix it. Also, if we do something like high equals, then we just forget to set the variable, and then we continue. Or why didn't that work? Or say, how about that's a bad example again. How about we forget to write then? Yep, see, we forgot to write then. Roblox puts a red line under, and it says it expected a then before it got to dev trooper, which means you probably forgot to write the word then. So if you hover over your errors, it will tell you what your problem is. And if you have an error and you have no idea where it is, if you right click anywhere in your script and you come down here to go to script arrow, it will move your camera to where that script is. So say we forgot to write then, but we're working on code down here. If we right click and go to script error, it will bring us up to where the problem is, and we can fix it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Awesome, see you guys next video.